Hey everyone, Technomentary with the video for you guys. In today's video, we're going to compare the new iPhone 16 Pro with the iPhone 11 that was released a couple years ago. So let's get started. So everything you need to know if you're thinking about upgrading or just want to know the differences between these devices, this is the breakdown of it. The 16 Pro, as you can see, is a nice 6.3 inch display from a 6.1 inch on the iPhone 11. So that's going to be the biggest upgrade is the screen size itself. Now, other things that you might not see between these two phones are they weigh around the same amount of weight, so slightly heavier on the 16 Pro. It's 7 ounce, where the iPhone 11 is around 6.88 4 ounces. Not much of a difference, but something to mention. Now, right off the bat, you also notice things like, of course, the dynamic island on the 16 Pro, and then your top notch here in terms of the body of it. And then other things to consider are going to be the build between these two phones. So they're slightly different build material. The 16 Pro comes with the titanium body, where the iPhone 11 is aluminum and glass body here that you see all around. You also see a design change from going from round to flat on the newer phone, which started with the iPhone 12 as well. You also notice there's a camera control button that's now available where you can click on it to activate and control the camera on the 16 Pro, which of course isn't available on the 11 here. But one thing that's available on the 11 that's not available on the 16 on the US model is that physical SIM. So you don't see that physical SIM on the 16 Pro. So that's definitely a plus for the 11 here. And then other things are going to be the ringer and the silent on the 11. Some people still prefer that, but on the new 16 you can only get that action button, which is the new way to interact and customize that button itself. And then other things physically are going to be the charging. You'll see the new iPhone 16 Pro, you're charging with USB-C versus Lightning on the 11 here. And then, of course, the other around space that we're going to talk about is the camera. You have the triple camera here with 48 and a 48 main and the wide angle camera versus just a 12 megapixel main and ultra wide for the iPhone 11 here. So improvement of camera, which we'll discuss a little bit. Then the other thing we're probably going to talk about is the actual hardware on these devices here. The 16 Pro comes with that A18 Pro with 8 gigs of RAM. Pretty beefed up compared to the iPhone 11, which has a 13 Bionic, so 5th generation old chip, which is going to make a ton of difference in terms of its performance. Now, other things you probably want to consider, it's going to be the battery life between these two devices, which is important, especially depending on how much usage you're having. The iPhone 16 Pro gets around 27 hours versus the iPhone 11 rated for 17 hours, almost a 10-hour difference in terms of their battery life. Now, one thing I mentioned is the camera here. Revisiting that aspect here, you'll notice a lot of difference between the camera here. Things like spatial mode isn't available on the 11. Things like cinematic mode isn't available as well. Those are some of the advanced features on the new iPhone 16 Pro and the Pro models that was released after the iPhone 11 itself. So much improvement in the actual space around the video and photography space with the camera on the iPhone 16 Pro. Now, looking in the iOS version between these two phones, so you'll be glad to find out that the iOS version on both phones are on iOS 18 here. You can upgrade the iPhone 11 to iOS 18. iPhone 16 Pro already comes with iOS 18, so you don't have that choice. But once you upgrade your iPhone 11 to iOS 18, you can take advantage of most of the features listed here, as you can see here, which we did on different videos on. Now, one big feature that's not going to be available on the iPhone 11 that's going to be making the debut on iPhone 16 lineup and the iPhone 15 Pro and the 15 Pro Max is Apple Intelligent. What is Apple Intelligent? Basically integrated intelligent into your phone to be able to do a lot more. Again, is that something you want or something you don't want? Up to you. Now, other things you might not notice between the software is satellite connectivity. The iPhone 16 Pro, you can connect to satellite for emergency SOS, crash detection, roadside assistant, messages on via satellite, and crash detection, which can call notify emergency service in case you're in an accident. Those features are not available on the iPhone 11, just the way they are designed. Now, coming back to the question, is it worth upgrading from the iPhone 11 to the iPhone 16 Pro? First of all, the iPhone 11 is discontinued, no longer sold by Apple, so you couldn't get this. You would have to get it in a secondhand market like Amazon or eBay. And the other thing about these are going to be there's just a lot of improvement because of how old the iPhone 11 is versus the iPhone 16 Pro. It's almost a 5-year difference in generation. So again, first thing I mentioned is the improvement of camera. Again, a lot has changed in terms of the camera quality in photography and video space. Things around your battery life, 10-hour difference that you get between these two devices. The charging capability, you can even do wireless charging up to 25 watt on a 30 watt adapter on the 16 Pro here because of that. And then the changes of USB-C from the Lightning, improved charging speed as well. And then finally the performance, as I mentioned, that A18 Pro chip, it's going to be the fastest chip on any iPhone, and that's going to make a ton of difference when it comes to gaming, heavy graphic stuff, and then multitasking on the 16 Pro. So that's kind of it for a review. Of course, the 16 Pro is worth it. But when it comes to 11, still, if you're still using it for the basic needs such as calling, texting, messaging, browsing, and using most of your apps, which again are still supported because it's on iOS 18, you're not going to be missing much besides those major upgrades. So if you plan on using it, you can probably use it still this year. Next year might be a time to upgrade or think about upgrading when iOS 19 comes out, which might not support on iPhone 11. And then iPhone 17, like Apple releases every year, might be the biggest upgrade if you're an 11 user going to it. But 16 again is a great option if you're looking to get it right now. And that's it. I want to hear from you guys. What's your opinion? If you're upgraded, used it, experience, leave a comment in the comment section. And I hope you guys found this video helpful. If so, please do consider hitting the like and subscribe button for more tips, tricks, and reviews like this one. We'll see you guys next time.